I went to a hotel to catch my boyfriend cheating, and instead I saw a floating comment stream. The female lead is such an idiot. A demon billionaire is the most loyal partner you could ever have. Once they get married, he becomes her devoted servant for life. And yet she runs off with some pretty boy to avoid the wedding? Can I trade places with her and marry the billionaire instead? I froze. That pretty boy they were talking about was my boyfriend, Jason Whitmore. Don't worry, even if the billionaire catches the female lead in bed with another man, he'll still drag her to the courthouse to get married. His grandfather refuses surgery unless he sees a marriage license. To save his grandfather, the billionaire has no choice but to swallow the humiliation. And after just one night together, he becomes her utterly devoted servant for life. I love this demon possessiveness. The billionaire is forced into love. Just imagine how amazing the female lead's life will be.
What?
Why does the woman cheating with my boyfriend get such a sweet deal? But then I actually saw the billionaire, Sebastian Cole, show up to catch her in the act. We were both about to kick down the door to the same hotel room. Right before we broke the door down, I had a sudden idea, but I blurted it out to Sebastian. How about you and I get married instead? That'll really piss them off. My best friend, Chloe Bennett, called to tell me Jason was cheating on me. He was in room 4702 at the Grand Astoria Hotel with the other woman. I wasn't sure I believed her until Chloe sent me the photos she'd taken. Then it hit me like a bolt of lightning, and I rushed straight to the Grand Astoria. The moment I stepped into the elevator and pressed the button for the 4th floor, a line of floating comments appeared before my eyes. The female lead is such an idiot. A demon billionaire is the most loyal partner you could ever have. Once they get married, he becomes her devoted servant for life. And yet she runs off with some pretty boy to avoid the wedding? Can I trade places with her and marry the billionaire instead? I was stunned. The pretty boy in the comments was my boyfriend, Jason Whitmore. Was the person Jason was cheating with the billionaire's runaway bride? No way. Why would the billionaire's runaway bride even look at Jason? For a second, I honestly thought I was hallucinating, maybe food poisoning or something. But then, the elevator doors opened and 2 men stepped in. One of them had the kind of presence that filled the whole space. He was drop-dead gorgeous. I recognized him instantly. It was Sebastian, the youngest head of the Sterling Group. Last year, through a series of mergers and acquisitions, he'd grown his family's company from under $50 million to over $760 million. He'd just made the new Fortune 500 list. He was even better looking than his official photos. Easily over 6 feet tall, broad shoulders, narrow waist. And that face. Absolutely perfect. Even by Hollywood standards, he was top tier. His assistant walked in and said, "Mr. Cole, we found her. Ms. Sinclair is in room 4702 on the 4th floor with some man. She was supposed to meet you at the courthouse today to get married. She's deliberately making a fool of you. But you have to get the marriage license today, or your grandfather will refuse surgery. The doctors say his surgery can't be delayed another day. What are we going to do?" The assistant was furious. My brain clicked into gear. Was the demon billionaire the comments were talking about Sebastian? The comment stream started buzzing again. Here we go. The billionaire's about to catch her in the act. That said, I'm kind of worried about the female lead. What if the demon billionaire snaps her neck? Don't worry. Even if the billionaire catches the female lead in bed with another man, he'll still drag her to the courthouse to get married. Didn't you hear the assistant? The grandfather won't have surgery unless he sees a marriage license. To save his grandfather, the billionaire has no choice but to swallow the humiliation. And after just one night together, he becomes her utterly devoted servant for life. I love this demon possessiveness. The billionaire is forced into love. Just imagine how amazing the female lead's life will be.
Wait.
Sleep together once, and he becomes a lifelong devoted servant? That's not a demon possessiveness. That's a dream come true. Why haven't I ever met a man like that? Wait, maybe I just did. Based on the comments and what the assistant said, Sebastian was only getting married because his grandfather was forcing him. If he had to marry someone, why couldn't it be me? The best way to get back at a cheating boyfriend and his other woman was to steal her good fortune and sleep with her demon billionaire husband. But who was I to get Sebastian to agree to switch brides?
Wait.
There had to be a way. Fortune favors the bold. The elevator reached the 4th floor. I was the first one out. Chloe was standing outside room 4702, waving at me. Emily, hurry up. Over here. I walked toward her quickly. But Chloe's attention shifted to something behind me. Sebastian and his assistant were walking our way too. Chloe grabbed my arm and asked, "Are those two your backup?"
Good.
You go after a cheater hard. Those two look like they can fight. I started to say, no, they're not. But then Sebastian's assistant said, Mr. Cole, this is it. Room 4702. Chloe grinned. You were saying they're not your backup? Hey, you two. When you get in there, beat Jason within an inch of his life. Get my girl some payback. Cheaters are the worst. That caught the assistant's attention. He asked me, "You're the man's girlfriend? You're here to catch him cheating too?" I pinched myself hard and forced out a few tears.
Yeah.
The scumbag. 3 years together, and this is how he repays me. How about I marry you instead? That'll really piss them off. That last part one directed at Sebastian, who was standing there looking cold and aloof. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much. But this was my last chance. I had to take the gamble. If I lost, at least I could say I tried. But Sebastian checked his watch and said, "Fine. The woman in there was just an arranged match anyway. You're clearly the better option. I need to get married today. Did you bring your ID?" The comment stream went wild in front of my eyes. Who is this? Trying to steal the female lead's demon billionaire? No way. Female lead, get out here. Your demon servant husband is about to get stolen. Shut up, you nobody. The female lead ran away because she thinks the demon thing is disgusting. Once they get married and she realizes he's strong and protective and spoils her, she's going to fall for him. Why would I give the other woman that chance? Ignoring the curses in the comments, I pulled out my ID immediately, as if Sebastian would change his mind if I hesitated for even a second. Of course I have my ID.
See.
The next second, Sebastian grabbed my wrist. Let's go to the courthouse.
Fast.
I have somewhere to be. I couldn't believe it. Sebastian was in even more of a hurry than I was, almost like he was afraid I would change my mind. Was I dreaming? Chloe ran after us. Emily, what's going on? You're not going in there to catch him? Not that this guy isn't way better than Jason.
Look at that body.
That attitude. Who needs a loser boyfriend? Exactly. I'd lost a penny and found a fortune. I was coming out way ahead. I followed Sebastian without looking back. Of course I'm serious. What's the point of running and they're all hysterical? That would just make it look like I can't live without Jason. Honestly, women who cry and beg are pathetic. He can cheat on me. Why can't I cheat right back? The best way to get back at a cheater and the other woman is to sleep with her man and let them both get a taste of their own medicine. Chloe gave me a thumbs up. Sebastian's assistant kept trying to talk him out of it. Mr. Cole, calm down. I know your grandfather wants you to get married today, but you can't just pick someone at random. By then we were already at the elevator. Sebastian loosened his expensive tie. Why not? Grandpa set a deadline. Get married today or he won't have the surgery, even if it kills him. So I'll get married, but I'm choosing my own bride. Sebastian looked down at me and the corner of his mouth twitched. Besides, my taste is better than his.
Wait.
Was Sebastian seriously falling for me at first sight? I gave him my biggest smile and laid on the charm. I think your taste is way better than your grandfather's too. Look who he picked. She's cheating on you with my boyfriend on the day you were supposed to get married. She's humiliating you. So we're going to humiliate her right back. Congratulations, you've just hit the jackpot by marrying me. I had no shame. I was my own biggest cheerleader. Sebastian's unsmiling lips twitched upward. He had a nice smile. He was 1,000,000 times better than Jason. Sebastian said he was in a hurry, and he meant it. The man didn't waste a second. We rode in his Rolls-Royce Phantom to the courthouse. The whole process took less than 10 minutes. And just like that, we had a fresh marriage license. I couldn't believe it. It felt like I was walking on air. My heart was pounding. After we got the license, Sebastian said, "You'll have to come to the hospital with me. Grandpa won't have surgery unless he sees the license with his own eyes. If I just show him the paper, he'll think I faked it." "Okay, no problem. I'll play along." I followed Sebastian to the hospital. We found his grandfather, Harold Cole, sitting in a wheelchair looking frail. Sebastian pulled me against his side and held up the marriage license.
See?
"Married. This is your granddaughter-in-law. Now will you go into surgery?" Suddenly it all made sense. Sebastian had rushed because his grandfather needed surgery, and I was the lucky one who got caught up in it. Harold smiled from ear to ear.
Good.
"Now, even if I don't make it through the surgery, I'll go in peace." Sebastian frowned. "You're not going to die.
Stop saying that.
We'll be waiting outside the whole time." I smiled sweetly. "That's right, Grandpa. You're going to be fine. We'll be right outside cheering for you. Good girl." Harold couldn't stop smiling. He finally let the doctors take him into surgery. I waited with Sebastian in the hallway. Then his assistant said, "Mr. Cole, should I arrange the divorce? Your grandfather is already in surgery. The deal is done." It hit me like a shockwave. The comment stream exploded with praise for the assistant.
Yes.
The female lead still has a chance. The assistant deserves a seat at the head table. Get rid of this nobody. That's right. Divorce her before they sleep together. Give me back the real couple. The female lead is still in room 4702 waiting for him to catch her. I want to see him stay with her no matter what. I support the divorce. Get it together, billionaire. Your devoted servant mode only works on the female lead. This nobody doesn't deserve it. I grabbed Sebastian's hand. In my head, a famous movie line played. It's not about whether she'll accept me. It's about whether I can make her accept me. I finally understood what I was, just a background character in someone else's story. But why couldn't a background character get her happy ending too? I was racking my brain for a way to refuse the divorce. But Sebastian was on my side. He gave his assistant a cold look. "Who said we're getting a divorce?" The assistant said, "Isn't this just a temporary arrangement? You barely know Miss Carter. Are you really going to marry a stranger?" Sebastian held my hand tighter. His face was set with determination. We got married. As a man, I accept that. Even a quick marriage is still destiny. It's not a game. Do you want a divorce? Sebastian looked down at me.
Of course I didn't want one.
I'd just stolen the other woman's good luck. But I pretended to hesitate. "Sebastian, we don't have any real feelings for each other. Maybe someday you'll realize I'm not the woman you really want. Then we'll grow those feelings. Love after marriage, it happens." What? Sebastian suddenly asked for my phone number. I didn't know why, but I gave it to him. A few seconds later, I got a bank transfer notification. I stared at the screen, counting the zeros. 7 of them. My jaw dropped. Sebastian put his phone away. "Consider it you're spending money, the same amount every month. If you don't like love after marriage, we'll do money after marriage. As long as you don't ask for a divorce."
Capitalism was testing me.
Was I strong enough to resist? I didn't even try. I beamed at him and went all in. "Okay, love after marriage, it is. Are we sleeping together tonight? I hear that's how feelings really start, sleeping together. I want to find out." Now I was sure. Sebastian's demon billionaire loyalty was real. Once he got married, he became a lifelong devoted servant. But to be safe, I needed to sleep with him to lock it in. I wanted to close every possible door for the other woman. The comments were losing their minds. "Oh my God. $10 million? Just like that? It's over. He's been brainwashed. Female lead, come quick. Your husband is giving away all your money."
No.
"Don't sleep with her. Please, billionaire. Your first time has to be with the female lead, or everything goes wrong." The female lead runs away for one day and comes home to find her house robbed and her money gone. Is he really going to bind himself to this gold digger? What about the female lead? I can't accept this. But Sebastian accepted it. His ears turned red. He nodded seriously. "Okay, we're already married, and I'm not planning on a divorce. Maybe tonight I should show you who I really am." No more secrets. He sounded nervous, like he was afraid I might reject him. He held my hand tighter and lowered his voice. Please don't be put off by me. I can give you a lot of money. He said something about his true self, not to be disgusted, and offered money to make me feel better. What did that mean? Was he talking about his demon side? I got the answer from the comments. That was exactly it. The comment said, "This is supposed to be the female lead's plot. On their wedding night, he shows his true self, and she's disgusted. He feels guilty and keeps giving her money to make up for it." That was a thing? Not that I was complaining, Sebastian was generous with money. If Jason had sent me money, he would have used a payment app where accepting it felt awkward, all while acting like he was doing me a favor. But Sebastian just used a bank transfer. No pressure at all. I was starting to look forward to tonight. The hours passed. The surgery took 7 hours. It was a success. Afterward, they moved Harold to the ICU. Sebastian finally exhaled with relief and took me back to his mansion to rest. We both showered and ended up in bed together. I traced my fingers slowly up his chest. Sebastian asked, "Do you want to?" I lied through my teeth. Of course not. But inside I was thinking, there's a gorgeous demon billionaire lying next to me. If we sleep together once, he's my devoted servant for life. What woman could resist? Of course, I want to devour you. Before I knew it, Sebastian rolled on top of me. His lips met mine. He kissed me softly. I watched his throat move as he swallowed. My breathing got faster. Just as I was about to close my eyes and enjoy it, Sebastian pulled back. His eyes were anxious. He was nervous, like he was waiting for me to judge him. "Emily, don't close your eyes yet. Look at me. If you're disgusted..." He didn't finish. I was already staring. Patterns and scales were appearing on his skin, glowing with a deep ocean blue sheen. They shimmered like pearls. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. This was a demon? He looked like some kind of magical creature. I wanted to collect him.
No.
Hide him away so only I could see. I suddenly understood what people meant by obsessively possessive. That's what I felt for Sebastian right now. I wanted to hide this gorgeous, ethereal version of him away for myself. But Sebastian was biting his lip so hard it almost bled, like he was a monster, and he was terrified I'd run. He couldn't even look at me. His voice was so tight. His eyes were wet with tears. "Emily, I'm sorry. This is who I really am. I'm not normal. I was born this way, as a demon. If you're scared, I'll leave right now. I won't blame you for being disgusted." Before he could finish, I wrapped my arms around his neck. He jolted at my touch. He stared down at me. "Emily, you're not disgusted?" I smiled and winked at him. Why would I be disgusted?
Can I
touch them? Your scales, I mean, they're so beautiful. Sebastian's nervous voice turned excited. You really think so? Don't just say that to make me feel better. Who's making you feel better? They're really beautiful. Promise me you'll only let me see them, okay? Otherwise I might have to lock you in my basement. You know what I mean. I slid my hand down his muscular back. When I touched the scales on his tail, Sebastian shivered. That seemed to be a sensitive spot. His reaction was adorable. Suddenly, his glowing blue tail wrapped around my waist. Sebastian cupped the back of my head with his warm hand. When our lips met, it was electric. I could feel how worked up
he was. Wait.
I could barely breathe. I just said I wasn't disgusted. Did he have to get this excited? He was a billionaire, worth hundreds of millions. Shouldn't he be arrogant and confident? Why was he so insecure about this? Was there more to his story? He was the male lead, after all. Maybe he had a painful past that made him feel this way. I was lost in thought when Sebastian buried his face in my neck, rubbing against me. His voice was rough. You said you're not disgusted. This is your only chance to change your mind. I won't ever let you leave me after this. We're married. It's fate. Who said I wanted to leave? I wasn't stupid. But this wasn't fate. I made this happen. The comments weren't all hating on me anymore. A few of them said, you know what? Maybe the female lead isn't the only option. At least this nobody didn't shove him away on their wedding night and scream that he's disgusting. Sebastian really has been through a lot. His mother rejected him as a monster, and he lost both his parents because of it. This is the first time he's ever shown himself to someone like this. He was terrified, and this girl just accepted him. He finally got what he deserved. Sleep with him. Lock in that devoted servant mode. This is the best outcome. The female lead can go kick rocks. That's right. Tonight When I woke up the next morning, Sebastian was already at the hospital with his grandfather. On the nightstand there was a vase of fresh roses. I smiled. He really knew how to make a girl feel special. I lay in the huge bed and called Chloe. My voice was hoarse. Chloe knew immediately. You lucky girl. Tell me everything. Who's better, your new husband or that scumbag Jason? Don't even mention that loser. I rolled my eyes and stretched my sore back. Sebastian is better at everything. But this all happened so
fast.
I feel like I'm going to wake up any second. Chloe, let's go shopping. The most expensive stores. I'm buying. My husband gave me so much money. I need to spend it before I wake up. Let me live out my rich wife fantasy. Chloe shrieked.
Yes.
My rich best friend. Wait for me. We hit the most exclusive luxury stores. Designer bags.
Haute couture. Buy.
We were having the time of our lives. I had just picked up a limited edition bag and was about to pay when someone snatched it out of my hand. It was Victoria Sinclair, the same Victoria who'd been in the hotel with Jason the day before. She was admiring the bag. I'll take this one. Wrap it up. I grabbed it back. Excuse me. I saw it first. Victoria looked me up and down like I was something dirty. Before she could say anything, Jason walked in behind her.
He
did a double take when he recognized me. Emily, what are you doing here? Are you crazy? Do you even know how much you make? You're looking at bags that cost tens of thousands. Give the bag back to Miss Sinclair. This isn't something we can afford. I never knew you were so materialistic. Chloe kicked Jason hard. Shut your mouth. Cheaters and homewreckers should rot. Jason stumbled and hit the floor face first. He got up snarling. Chloe, you lunatic. Just because you're a kickboxing instructor doesn't mean I'm scared of you. Who's cheating? Who's a cheater? Ms. Sinclair is a client at my company. We're clean. Only dirty minds see dirty things. Jason's fake innocent act made me sick. I regretted not kicking down that hotel door yesterday. Jason snatched the bag out of my hands and handed it to Victoria with a groveling smile. Miss Sinclair, this is my girlfriend, Emily Carter. She has no right to compete with you for a bag. Don't worry about her. Victoria looked at me like I was an idiot. She smiled smugly. Are you sure you want to fight me on this? With one word, I can have your boyfriend fired. Then please, fire him immediately. I wasn't going to let her push me around. I grabbed the bag back and handed it to the sales clerk. Wrap this up. I'm buying it. Victoria looked shocked. Jason looked shocked. Neither of them expected me to stand my ground. Jason raised his voice. Emily, you don't actually believe Chloe's lies, do you? Yes, I do. So what? I gave him a nasty look. We're done. You're disgusting. Jason stammered. And I'm already married. From now on, we're strangers.
My
husband is rich. I can afford whatever I want. I pulled out my phone and showed him my bank balance. See this? It's what my husband gave me, $10 million.
And
that's just for 1 month. Jason didn't believe me at first, but when he saw the balance, his eyes went wide. He grabbed my wrist. You're lying to
me.
When did you get married? We haven't even broken up yet, and you went and married someone else? Emily, you're cheating on me. That's rich. You can cheat on me, but I can't cheat on you? Don't be such a hypocrite. I smiled sweetly just to rub it in. Actually, I should thank you. Yesterday, Chloe told me you were at the Grand Astoria with Ms. Sinclair. I went to catch you. And wouldn't you know it, Ms. Sinclair's fiancé, Sebastian Cole, the CEO of the Sterling Group, was there to catch her too. He said he was sorry his fiancée hurt me and asked if I'd let him make it up to me by marrying him instead. I thought about it. Why would I want someone like you when I could have Sebastian? I didn't hesitate for a second. We went and got married. Surprised. Jason couldn't believe it. You mean Sebastian Cole? The billionaire?
No way.
He would never go for someone like you. Then a calm, cool voice came from the entrance of the store. Who says I wouldn't? Sebastian walked in. He came up behind me and put his hand on my waist. I've been looking for you all morning. Emily. Hearing him call me by my first name sent a thrill through me.
It reminded me of last night.
When he was lost in the moment, he kept whispering, Emily, is this okay? Emily, kiss me. Emily. Just thinking about his tail wrapped around me made my face burn with embarrassment. Sebastian looked at Jason with cold, possessive eyes. I belong to her now. Do you have a problem with that? He was completely different with me. Gentle and soft. With Jason, he was all ice and dominance. Jason stood there like an idiot. He tried to grab my wrist again, but Sebastian blocked him. Jason said loudly, Mr. Cole, do you really think Emily loves you? She's just after your money. He thought that would drive a wedge between us. But Sebastian looked proud.
Good.
I'm glad. Money is probably my best quality. Lucky for me, she wants it. I don't see you offering any. I laughed. Jason didn't have any money. I'd wasted 3 years with him. If I bought a box of strawberries, he'd frown and say, Emily, we need to save for
A house.
Listen to me. Let's be frugal.
I was so stupid back then.
Not anymore. Goodbye, broke loser. Sebastian ignored Jason's flushed face with anger and looked down at me. Are you done shopping? I nodded.
Good.
Let's go. Sebastian didn't even glance at Victoria. After we left the store, I asked him, Aren't you going to say something to Miss Sinclair? Why would I say anything to someone who doesn't matter?
A
good husband doesn't look at other women. I threw my arms around Sebastian's neck and whispered in his ear, You said one thing wrong earlier. Sebastian asked, What? I pressed my lips close to his ear. Your best quality isn't just your money. It's also that gorgeous demon tail of yours. I want to touch it again. I was just teasing him. But the next thing I knew, Sebastian swept me off my feet and looked at Chloe. Chloe, keep
shopping.
Have my assistant pay for everything. I'm taking Emily home. Chloe was thrilled. Thank you, Mr. Cole. You're 1,000,000 times better than Jason. I'll buy whatever I want. Congratulations on the wedding. The comments were full of people crying. Is it really over between the male lead and the female lead? I guess so. Once he's married and sleeps with her, his demon side makes him devoted for life. He won't ever look at the female lead again. Honestly, she didn't want him anyway. They both get what they want. You're forgetting the grandfather. He still thinks Sebastian married Victoria. Once he gets out of the hospital, this background character's good luck might run out. I bet the grandfather will be the biggest obstacle. He forced Sebastian to get married. He can force him to get divorced.
Just
wait. Well then, I just have to visit the hospital every day. If I could win over Sebastian, why couldn't I win over his grandfather? Rich people don't just get handed their fortune. You have to fight for it. I went to the hospital every single day. I made Harold laugh. And I ended up learning a lot about Sebastian's childhood. Suddenly, I understood why he was so insecure. Harold sighed. If I hadn't pushed him, he probably would have stayed single forever. He doesn't want to be seen as a monster. He's afraid of betting on someone only to have them be disgusted by him. Because his own mother was disgusted by him. After he was born, she never once held him. On his 10th birthday, he said, Mom, can you please hold me? It's the only thing I want. And his mother said no. She said, You're just as disgusting as your father. Why did I give birth to a monster? I couldn't believe a mother would say that about her own child. I couldn't imagine the damage that did to Sebastian. Grandpa, what about his parents? I've never met them. Harold sighed. They died. Right after his birthday party. I gasped. Harold continued. My daughter, in-law didn't want to marry my son. He forced her. She could never accept what he was. She kept asking for a divorce. My son said, "Wait until the boy's 10th birthday. I won't stop you after that." That night, she packed her things and left. My son drove her to the airport. There was an accident. By the time I got there, my son was wrapped around her, protecting her. They were both crushed by a truck. Sebastian has always blamed himself. If he hadn't asked his mother to hold him, maybe she wouldn't have left. Maybe they'd still be alive. I closed my eyes and tried to imagine it. I couldn't begin to understand the pain Sebastian had carried all those years. No wonder he was so nervous when he showed himself to me. On our wedding night, he was terrified I'd reject him. Harold took my hand. "Thank you for not being disgusted by him. I can tell he's happy with you. My judgment is as good as ever." I kept my mouth shut. "Your judgment is terrible." Then Jason walked in and ruined everything. "She's lying to you, sir. She's not Victoria. She's my girlfriend, Emily Carter. She only married Sebastian for his money." Harold stared at me in shock. "Is that true?" I saw the smug look on Jason's face. He was the one who cheated, but he wouldn't let me go. He wanted to be Victoria's boy toy, but she got tired of him and dumped him. Now he wanted me back. I'd been ignoring him. I didn't expect him to show up here. He grinned, waiting for Harold to pass judgment on me. "It's true. She's not the girl you picked for me." Sebastian walked in and took my cold hand. Before I could react, Sebastian grabbed my chin with one hand and the back of my head with the other and kissed me hard. I melted into him. His breathing grew hot. My cheeks flushed. Sebastian's kissing skills had improved quickly. I couldn't keep up. Just when I thought I might pass out, he pulled back and looked at his grandfather with me still in his arms. "Her name is Emily Carter. She's the woman I chose. And I like her.
No.
I love her. I can't live without her." He turned his cold gaze on Jason. "If I ever see you near Emily again, your company will get a termination notice tomorrow. And I'll make sure your boss knows it's because of you." Jason's legs went weak. "No, Mr. Cole, please. I'm leaving. I'm going." Jason scrambled out of the room. Now it was just me, Sebastian, and a very angry grandfather. Harold looked me up and down. "You lied to me. What do you have to say for yourself?" I stopped pretending. I held onto Sebastian's arm. "I'm not getting a divorce. Your judgment is terrible. That Miss Sinclair was seducing my boyfriend." Sebastian corrected me. "Ex-boyfriend." I nodded.
Right. Anyway.
"She cheated on Sebastian with my ex on purpose to humiliate him. Do you really want what happened to Sebastian's parents to happen again with them?" I dug deep for my best argument. "Grandpa, you pushed him to get married so he could find someone who really loves him. I'm that person." Sebastian's breathing got heavier behind me. I winked at him. My shameless speech made Harold laugh. "You've got some nerve. Sebastian is too quiet sometimes. Having you around to stir things up might be good for him. Look at you two, so nervous. Did you think I'd hurt my own grandson?" I blinked. "You mean you're okay with this?" Harold grunted. "Nothing is more important than my grandson's happiness. If he chooses you, I support him." I couldn't believe it. If I'd known it would be this easy, I wouldn't have worried at all. The comments glowed with warmth. "Grandpa has been won over. Celebrations. Her social skills are off the charts. No wonder she got the good ending. The female lead is done. This is the new happy ending."
I
actually like this couple. After Harold ate dinner, Sebastian and I went home. In the car, his kisses came fast and deep, more intense than ever before. I was dizzy. All my strength left me. His beautiful blue tail wrapped around my waist again. This time, there was no hesitation in him. His kisses, his embrace, all of it screamed, "You're mine, Emily." He whispered my name against my lips. "Call me your husband. I want to hear it." I breathed back, "My beautiful demon husband." He laughed softly and pulled me tighter with his tail. The comments were going crazy. "This is so sweet. Why can't I see what happens next?" In the original story, it took 10 years for the female lead to tell him she wasn't disgusted. Emily did it in 1 month. The female lead?
Who's that?
I only care about this couple now. Happy ending. I thought we had overcome all the obstacles. I thought I could finally live my rich wife fantasy. But the original story still had a strong pull. At a business event, we ran into Victoria again. She walked right up to Sebastian and said, "I had a dream. You burst into that hotel room and begged me to marry you." My heart tightened. I held onto Sebastian's arm. Sebastian patted my hand and looked at her coldly. Dreams are usually the opposite of reality, Miss Sinclair. Victoria murmured. Are they? But it felt so real. I wake up laughing every night. I don't understand. At your birthday party when we were kids, I heard your mother call you disgusting. You begged her to hold you and she wouldn't. After that, I always thought you were disgusting too.
But my family wanted me to marry you.
Why would I jump into the same fire your mother jumped into? I found a pretty boy and cheated, so I could escape. I got what I wanted. So why do I feel so empty? In my dreams, you spoil me like crazy. You get nervous if I even cry. And your blue tail in my dreams, it's not disgusting. I almost want to touch it. Victoria reached for Sebastian's face. Sebastian immediately moved behind me. Miss Sinclair, I'm a married man. I stepped forward to block her. Miss Sinclair, what are you doing? There's no such thing as do-overs. Victoria smiled bitterly. Maybe I do regret it. You can have Jason back. Just divorce Sebastian. You're crazy. Keep dreaming. I grabbed Sebastian's arm. Let's go. If you look at her one more time, you're sleeping on the couch tonight. Sebastian looked hurt. I wasn't looking at her. She was looking at you. That's your fault. Sebastian sighed and smiled. Whatever you say, Emily. We left the event early. The comments were split. Is the story finally going back to the original? Shut up. Can't you see? He's already whipped. Jason went to Victoria for money, and her brother broke both his legs. He's in the hospital with no one to take care of him. Who wants to trade for that? Exactly. What would she trade for? A lifetime of wiping his bedpan? No thanks.
Wait.
Jason's legs were broken? I laughed. Suddenly, I felt much better. But that night I couldn't sleep. The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt. Sebastian pulled me into his arms. Emily, what's bothering you? Nothing. Sebastian cupped my face. Are you worried about Victoria's dream? I looked away and mumbled. What if it's true? What if I stole someone else's life? Sebastian smiled and whispered in my ear. Then thank you. You stole it well. His tail wrapped around my waist possessively. I'm glad I didn't end up as her devoted servant. I don't want to belong to her. I want to belong to you. He always knew what to say to make me smile. I tried to push him away. I'm too upset tonight. I'm not in the mood. Sebastian slid his arm under my head, so I could use it as a pillow. Let me tell you a secret.
What?
Sebastian said, that day in the hotel elevator, I saw those floating comments too. The ones saying I would go to room 4702 and beg Victoria to marry me to save my grandfather. I couldn't believe it. He could see the comments too? I was wide awake now. What happened next? Sebastian said. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to marry someone who would humiliate me. I didn't want to repeat my parents' mistakes. But it was like the story was controlling me, making me walk toward that room. I was furious and helpless. And then you said, how about you and I get married instead? That'll really piss them off. In that moment, the grip of the story loosened. I grabbed your hand like you were the only light in the dark. Emily, do you understand what I'm saying? I was stunned. So, this was fate choosing both of us? Sebastian nodded. Do you know why I rushed us back to the mansion to sleep together as soon as my grandfather was out of surgery? Why? I was afraid the story would take control again and force me back onto that path. I only wanted you. Even if it was a gamble, I had to hold on to my only light. Emily, thank you for being in my world. I don't want to be anyone's male lead. I just want to be your Sebastian. Damn it. I teared up. I kissed him hard. Remember what you said tonight. If you ever look at Victoria again, I'll break both your legs. Sebastian laughed, full of happiness and satisfaction. Yes, Mrs. Cole. Gladly. Forever.
So what did we learn today, ladies and gentlemen? First of all, if your boyfriend cheats on you at a luxury hotel, do not cry in the parking lot. Apparently the correct response is to accidentally steal a billionaire demon husband on the way upstairs. Second, never underestimate shameless confidence. Emily saw a man worth $760 million, heard, lifelong devoted servant, and said, "Excuse me ma'am, I be taking that husband now." And honestly? Respect. Third, Jason really thought he could compete with a billionaire who says, "She only wants me for my money? Good. I have lots of it." Bro was fighting for his life with strawberries and budgeting apps while Sebastian was dropping 10 million like it was lunch money. Fourth, Victoria spent years calling this man disgusting, only to realize too late that the monster came with emotional intelligence, loyalty, unlimited black card, magical glowing tail package upgrade. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. And finally, the moral of the story. If a gorgeous demon billionaire with abandonment issues asks you to marry him in an elevator, you say yes first and ask questions later. Because one woman saw disgusting monster. Another woman saw rich emotionally available sea dragon. Vision matters, people. 10 by 10 story. Would absolutely risk the timeline again.